Nancy, tell us what's on the Excel spreadsheet. All right, the Excel spreadsheet I created is for you to, it's sort of like a mini P&L, profit and loss statement. And what I've done is I've built in the math so that if you, I can probably open it, so that you can actually plug in a price. Let's say you're dealing with a cruise group. You can plug in the price for that particular category. So you can type in the category name and put in the number. Let's say it's $2,000. Let's say they're giving you they're going to give you a gratuity, a tip. You know, that's what I call a commission. It's just a gratuity of 12%. Type in 12, and it'll show you what that net rate is. So the spreadsheet then will net the number down, and then you can add your own margin. Okay, if you want to make $20, $50, $70, whatever per person, then you can of course plug in the number of people or staterooms. So you can really set up a whole spreadsheet. But then there's an area where the add-ins can be added. So let's say you're adding private transfers. Let's say you're adding 2 excursions. Let's say you're adding in T-shirts with a logo on it. There's another tab, Nancy. The other tab is for add-ons. So you can put that it's a 20. Your net is 10, but you're marking it up 10. So you want to charge $20 for that T-shirt. Well, that number automatically goes back to the first page and plugs it in. You see, so it's really kind of nifty cool. Now, I don't know if any of you or all of you are really comfortable using Excel. I'm really comfortable using it. I'm not a super user. I'm close, but not a super user. Maybe you are. But even if you're not, I have the areas that are colored, that are gray. I tell you, don't type anything in, because if you do, you'll muss it up. Just type in the areas that don't have any color in. That's where you need to input your information. And voila, you'll be able to see your profit opportunity or your loss opportunity. You'll be able to see if you have a 50% sellout, or 75% sellout, or 100% sellout. That's how we gain financial intelligence. When we know, okay, before we go, we package, we make really intelligent decisions on markups, and we know how much money is going to be in the bank when we're done. We put in our marketing, we put in any other fees associated with it. Right. I hope that helps. Does that help, Nancy? Let's see. Nancy says, I have an e-commerce site in development. I'm working on a destination wedding. Can collect $50 deposit via PayPal, but I'm working with Travel Impressions. That's excellent. I think that's great. You have an e-commerce site. So that's an e-commerce website, Nancy. And you're going to take that deposit with PayPal, which I think is great. I use PayPal myself. It's easy, very simple. And congratulations on the destination wedding. In fact, I just did a webinar for the Destination Wedding and Honeymoon Special Association. I'm a big believer in destination weddings and the great opportunity. I don't know if anybody else does destination weddings on the line. Nancy, if you've done them before, if you have anything to share. But tell me about your e-commerce site. Are you building a website that can do the e-commerce, which means you need the HTTPS for secure, or your site can be HTTP, but when they jump to PayPal to pay, it becomes a secure site. So hopefully you're cool there. If you need any help, maybe I can help, but I'm just curious. Give me more. Tell me more. What else you got to share? All right, let's see, everybody. What else are they typing in? Nancy said, should I just say call to pay your deposit? Oh, okay. So you're building a site through WooCommerce. I got it. So it's almost a plug-and-play type of a site, which is great. And Nancy wants to know, with this destination wedding group for the deposit, should you just say call to pay your deposit? Well, right, because usually she sends the deposit right to Travel Impressions. You know, this is a good point. I would love, Nancy, to see you collect that deposit. Now, for final payment, that maybe another story, right? Because you may want to have that go directly to the supplier for a number of reasons, because the least of which may be that the consumer may want to see the name of Travel Impressions, if that helps. I don't remember, because I don't think they do direct business. they process it. Any way, shape, or form that you can collect the money, that would be great. If PayPal will allow you to collect full payment on a travel package. I know that merchant accounts, aside from PayPal, can get real sticky because there's a high chargeback, right, situation when it comes to companies that book travel. That's why many travel agencies don't have a merchant account. But deposit to collect the deposit, I think, is a great idea, and I would say that if you're able to collect that deposit electronically, I would advise them to do it electronically. Why? Because, and other agents online, tell me if you agree or disagree. If you have people calling you, everybody in the group is calling you to give you credit card information, and that's the way we've sort of grown up in this business doing that kind of stuff, right? We take it. Well, A, that takes time out of their day and your day. B, there's a large room for error. Rewriting stuff, writing it down. C, there's a security risk that you're writing it down someplace. And what if they say hold it on file? Then you got to hold it on file. That's a security risk if it's in a cabinet or if you're putting it in a computer. That's a security risk. It's a liability for you. So I would love to see it, and I love suppliers who actually also offer the ability to give you a special portal, a custom portal. I don't know if Travel Impressions does. I don't know if anybody who's with us today in the Ask Stewart Hour uses a custom payment portal for groups that allows you to customize it and just direct people there. But the most important thing, Nancy, the most important thing is to do a launch. Everybody, do a launch. Don't just say, okay, everybody, come and get it. Here's the website. Do a launch. And I've explained this in other Ask Stewart Hours. I'm happy to go through it again and give you the recap. Basically, a launch means you don't just open for business. Because if you just open for business, then our strategy then is, okay, we open up, and that's a big accomplishment right there. And then we say, okay, now we're going to start advertising and promoting and selling, and we're going to build momentum. But my friends, it usually doesn't work like that. It's a struggle to go uphill. So what I try to teach you and encourage you to do, it's the same way I launch boot camp, is you got to start the momentum up here. I don't know if you can see my hand. It's way up here. Can you see the momentum up here? Right? Because, hang on one second. I just want to put, whoops. Nope. I just want to do something here. I would love to see you come out of the box. Like always in front. I just want to do this right here. Thank you. 1 second. Give me just that 1 second. Cool. I would always prefer to see you pre-sell everything before you start opening up to take business. Right? So even delay the on-sale date. Tell people, you can't buy it now. I will not take your money until we open it up. We're not going to open it up until you attend this conference call, maybe this webinar, or if it's local, Nancy, everybody goes to the meeting in person. And if you don't have a GoToWebinar license, then you can use the telephone and use freeconferencecall.com and have a conference call. Get them all the information. Set up that one page on the website that is all the FAQs. This part is in boot camp, where you want to have all the frequently asked questions already up and loaded, so that the day you tell them, now I'll take your money, at noon on Tuesday, now I'll take your money, they're pre-sold. So the momentum starts here, because it ain't going to go up any higher, I don't think. If anything, it's going to go down. It's going to go down. And by the way, that whole launch stuff, I know you didn't ask me that question. You asked about getting a deposit. I would love to see you actually have a conference call, and during that conference call, tell them during the call, I'm going to open up the shopping cart. I will give you the URL, the link, Nancy, that you're talking about here, that WooCommerce, that site that will take PayPal and take their deposits, so they're in. I hope that helps. Let me check the board here. Nancy, so it's not secure taking the credit card over the phone. You know, it is. Taking the credit card over the phone is secure. I think we've done that for a million years. But I think there's a margin for error. I think it takes time. It's not efficient. And I think other people have made comments, so I want to see. And everybody else, please feel free to make comments too. I want to hear if you have a solution, if you have a strategy. And this is from Lori. Hi, Lori. For Nancy, when I do a destination wedding and people register, I send a link to a credit card authorization form. Then I call in the payment to my supplier. Okay, so let me read this again. Lori, this is great stuff. When I do a destination wedding and people register, I send a link to a credit card authorization form. Then call the payment. So, Lori, explain this to me then. Do people input their credit card information into a form online? Okay, is it into a form, but it's not being charged anywhere? So then you have it in your computer system in a database, and you then call it into the supplier. Explain that if you would. And by the way, if anyone on the line is bold enough to turn on their microphones, you can, and then you can turn off your microphone again. But it won't go right on. So you'll just click on your mic, and it basically will say request the mic be enabled, and I will then turn it on, then turn it back off. So what do you got, Lori? Tell me a little bit more. Nancy says bride is opening her own website with info. Okay, this is excellent. Bride is opening her own website with info. But Nancy, are you equal partners in that website in terms of the information? To eliminate confusion, to reduce the number of phone calls and questions, and to maximize the number of people that go. Because I believe that if the information is not strong, if it's not put together well, that you could lose people who might have otherwise decided to go on the destination wedding. You guys all know this. It's not a gimme that these people are going to go to the wedding. It's a big decision to spend the money to go away at a specific time, and it's usually not a cheap trip. So you can't assume everybody's going. So if the information is presented lackluster, there's more of a chance you're going to lose somebody. But if it was presented right, you may gain them rather than lose them. And that's where you put your FAQs page. Nancy, make sure, please, 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 that you get to review that, if not set it up for them, and make sure it is accurate, perfect, answers all the questions, gets them excited, has your cell phone number to text you for questions. Lori. Lori has a secure Jot form. I use Jot form that they fill out, and it does get charged, and it does not get charged until I call it in. So for everybody, this is a great solution to that Lori has, right? Lori, rather than waste time on the phone getting this information, you send them a link to a secure form, so they will see it's HTTPS, okay? And it's Jot form. Jot form is free. You can pay for it. It's low cost if you're a heavy user. I was one of the early adopters, so I'm actually a premium user. Because I used to use it for my company, Resort for a Day. I became a huge user. I used dozens and dozens and dozens of forms. I never took credit card information, but I believe, Laura, you're probably paying to get the secure Jot form. And I think it's great because then you have it, it's safe, just got to keep it really, really safe, stay in compliance. And it just reduces the margin of error, and it creates convenience for the consumer. Convenience for the consumer. Nancy said she's got an old laptop, no mic, so you can't turn it on. That's okay, no problem. Lori said, but the credit card form goes out via autoresponder when they register on Constant Consult. Got it. So basically, everybody, what Lori is telling me is that when she has guests beginning the sign-up process, okay, when they register to get information, so they're not registering for the sale necessarily, but for whatever they're registering, she has Jot form, which is easy to do. Good for you, Lori, rock and roll. As soon as they fill out this form, which could just have their name and email address, could be simple, boom, automatically an email goes back saying, here's your credit card authorization form, please complete this now. So the beautiful part, Lori, is that you're on the phone making sales, doing business, taking care, showing your love to all your other clients. And they're taking care of their own business. It's good for you, it's good for them, it's convenient. So hopefully that's inspiration for everybody, that there are ways to become more efficient in what we do. And not only for us, but more convenient for them too. So wait for the link to book. So Nancy says, shall I wait till I give her the link to book? Well, I don't want to say wait till give her the link to book, because if you haven't already set up a launch plan yet, then to do it now to put a hold on it, but what I would suggest you do is review that site that she has built, and make sure it is 100% accurate. And then if there's any way to squeeze in a conference call or have some kind of a meeting, and then announce the big open, condense the launch. You may have to do it in a 1-day period. Okay, I would suggest you do that, but make sure everything is perfect. And like I said, if there's any way to delay it slightly, at least to have a meeting for everybody, so you can tell everybody everything, pre-sell it, get the questions answered. And also, you'll know if there's any discrepancies, if there are any problems, or if there are any issues you need to attend to, even before it goes on sale. So you get it fixed before it goes on sale. Hope that helps. Nancy writes, to build momentum with a question mark. Momentum, what I mean by momentum is that you want to have, let me give you a perfect case in point, everybody. Let me give you what I mean by momentum. Who here has ever bought concert tickets? And you don't buy them on StubHub, you don't buy them used and marked up like insanity. You were on a list, or you buy concert tickets when a favorite group comes to town, or you get an email from the local venue telling you a group is coming to town. I'm on lists all over the place. I'll give you an example. I'm a big fan of an artist. His name is Amos Lee. And I'm part of his fan club. It was free. So whenever he's whenever he announces new concert dates, he sends out a list. Well, he's coming to Nashville. We saw him in Memphis earlier this year. He's coming to Nashville this weekend. We're going to see him. And here's what they do. They build that. You can't buy it now, right? The concert tickets. They're not on sale. The concert tickets will go on sale on, let's just say let's say on Monday. Okay? But on Sunday, fan club members can book early. There's no discount. So momentum means that they know they want to do something special for the best fans. So they send me a promo code. The promo code is, see Amos, let's say. There's no discount. But what do I get for booking early? Because I book for buying my tickets early. I can buy Sunday. But for everybody else, it goes on sale Monday. I get all ready, get all set, look at the venue, make sure with my wife that we can go. I'm set. I'm done. When that opens, I know I'm definitely going to buy it. I get the best seats in the house. And that's how we want to sell our groups. If you want to get the best availability, especially if it's a cruise or even if it's the resort, you want to see if Nancy, if there's a VIP list. Maybe there's a VIP. You want to open it up for the VIPs first, family first, because that's momentum. Family says, oh, now you're telling them when to book. Don't book. Okay, now you can book family only, because you're the very, very, very special guest. Family. Okay, that's it, family. We've given you 24 hours. Now, everybody else, it's open. Come and get it before we sell out. See, that's what I call momentum, right? So you fill your audience, as a concert does, with your biggest fans. You fill your audience with those most important guests to you, the family you want to get booked first. And then everybody sees, hey, it's a bandwagon approach. Everyone else is going. I got to go too. That's what I mean by momentum. And Lori says that she uses Constant Contact event for her destination wedding clients. Constant Contact. That's great, Lori. Thank you for sharing that. Big business, destination weddings. Barbara. Hello, Barbara. Sam Robertson. Welcome. Recently booked a honeymoon for a couple at the one and only, is it Palmilla in Cabo San Lucas. The groom is the son of a good friend of mine. I've been invited to the wedding, which is a 5-hour drive for me. Excuse me. However, my friend tells me next year the bride's parents intend to take the whole family, about 20 people, to Italy, where they have a family, and they want to rent a villa for a month. That sounds like fun. I really don't want to go, but just wondering if I should go to this wedding so I meet the bride's parents and then follow up with the bride and groom after they return from honeymoon and let them know that I heard about these plans and offer my assistance. How important is it these days to meet potential clients in person to secure a sale? Sam, I believe very. I believe if you were invited, I would go. Shake hands, kiss the baby, do what you got to do. If you can't go for whatever reason, that's okay too. But I also think, if there's any way to safely say in a peaceful environment, not that you're coming on strong to make a sale, like, to the bride and groom or wherever your connection is, to the son of a good friend of yours. Talk to your good friend of yours and make sure they know that you're a villa specialist and you have some great ideas. That's it. It's your favorite place to go for villas in Italy, and you've got great ideas. And Sam, I don't know if you are a villa specialist, an Italy villa specialist, but it's time to become one, so you can back it up. But that's all you do. Don't just say, hey, would you have your best friend? Don't say, have your son call me because I want to get the phone number for his parents, blah, blah, blah. It's never going to happen. Never going to happen. Somehow see if you can make that connection and tell your friend, listen, I'm also a villa specialist in Italy. I just want to send them just a little note, the parents. Can I just send them a note to tell them I've got some great ideas? I'm happy to send them my great ideas. That's it. I'm happy to send them my great ideas. Who would say no? Who would say no? You're taking a real soft sell approach. You want to help people. They got a problem. They got a problem that you can provide a solution for. And you want to get in there now before they may have another travel agent. You may want to get in there now and just offer your ideas. That's it. You're not selling anything. You're offering ideas. I hope that helps. But I would say yes if you can go. I would go, shake hands, and have a cocktail with them. Hello, Clavia. Welcome. Clavia says, I do the same as Lori. I currently have a destination wedding with travel impressions, and I created a web page with all the info for the guests. Awesome. They can then link to an online booking form, credit card authorization form. I process the payments online at Travel Impressions site. Love it. Fabulous. Wonderful. So I hope everybody heard that. And I'm very impressed that Travel Impressions is offering these tools. This is a nonpartisan boot camp. I don't necessarily support any particular suppliers, but I love when they come to the Experts Library, of course, and I love it when you guys share that suppliers are doing good things to help you process groups, to help you manage groups, to help you become more efficient and sell more groups. That says a lot about that company, because they know, too, that I know, that you know, that only a travel professional, travel agent can do groups great. The internet can't do it, and suppliers direct can't do it. They stink at it. So I appreciate you sharing that very much, Clavia. Awesome. And I just love that webpage because it sounds like it's very easy to create, too. Lorene, welcome, Lorene. She's planning a private Cuba group tour. Wow. With a licensed vendor. Cuba. I would like to find out the interest with the group first. I'm thinking about having a sign-up list and asking for a non-refundable $100 deposit. Oh, a non-refundable $100 deposit. If they end up really booking, that will be used for their booking. The vendor wants a $100 per room deposit up front to hold the rooms, which is $1,500. It's refundable minus $400. I will, of course, do all your other suggestions, including doing a launch. What do you think? I hope I'm making sense. Well, let's see, Lorene. We've got this Cuba group tour with a licensed vendor, and you want to find out the interest with the group first. So I got to tell you something. Maybe I'm missing something here, but ain't nobody's going to pay $100 for something that they don't even know what the heck it is yet. So here's what I suggest you do, and I'm probably missing something here, but nobody's going to pay $100 non-refundable just for you to find out if they're interested, just to show their interest or lack thereof. Why don't you just do a survey? Send out a survey. And I can help you with those words too if you want it, because it's what we call, as Jeff Walker says in his book Launch, he calls it the shot across the bow. You're not selling anything. You're just asking them for help. So you're basically, Lorene, you're basically saying, this is a 3-question survey. I am considering completing a special guided tour of Cuba. Your input will help me decide the kind of package I create. Ask them for help. People love being asked for that kind of feedback. And then come up with those 3 questions, maybe 5, but no more. It's got to be easy, and it's got to be multiple choice. Lorene, it's got to be multiple choice. Everybody on the line, you know right now that everyone's pushed for time. We're squeezed for time. It's all about efficiency. So if you can help me with the survey, I'm going to make it easy for you. I'll give you multiple choice. I will give you a box at the bottom if you have any additional comments. Because some people don't mind writing. But for the most part, just ask me a couple of questions and give me choices, A, B, or C. And then give me the opportunity to write if I want. So I would do a survey first. Don't take any money, but I may be missing something. You know, the non-refundable part scares me a little bit. Scares me a little bit. When they're actually, if they haven't bought anything, if you want to take their money and say, you can get your money back at any time, that's fine. But if they do move to buy it, they want to buy it, then that's when you have your refund policy, your cancellation policy, which has to mirror, okay, the supplier, the vendor, because you don't want to be shelling out money to the supplier if your consumer doesn't know that it's not refundable. And you guys all know that. You got to protect yourself, and you may want to keep some for yourself if somebody should cancel. But that's different. That's when they've already bought the product. Excuse me, Michelle. These are great stuff, everybody. Keep it coming. I have a great group leader who is departing today. Today, with 22 people. Congratulations, Michelle. From her quilting guild. Quilting guild. Hold on. Glasses. Oh, boy. It says Quilting Guild, but I actually think it's guild. For a 10-day custom tour of Ireland. Wow. There was one person in the group who always stirs the pot, saying someone else is the group, someone else is the group is going to be an issue during the trip, but never tells what the issue may be. The group leader can handle her, as they have been friends for many years. What is the best way for me to approach these so-called these issues? So basically, there's one person in the group who stirs the pot. Okay. Okay, so there's always a troublemaker. Is that what I'm hearing there, Michelle? It's a troublemaker. What do you do about the troublemaker? I think you're asking me what you do about the troublemaker. Everybody on the line, you tell me, have you ever had a troublemaker that surprised you, or did you know there was already a troublemaker going? It looks like Michelle already knows that there's going to be a troublemaker. Here's what I would suggest. If you already know there's going to be a troublemaker, I think what you do is, and if they're not the group leader, obviously, it's one of the guests. I would just listen to me carefully now. I would love on them in extraordinary ways. I would reach out and touch them before, make phone calls. I think the more they know that you're looking out, you love them, and it's not because they're doing anything wrong yet, but you anticipate they will. They don't know that. But you just love on them. Say, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, how are you? Listen, I'm making a personal phone call just to some random guests, Michelle. I'm really excited for you that you go on this awesome trip to Ireland. Do you have everything you need? Do you have any questions? Are you okay with that dinner we have planned? Are you bringing your quilting equipment? You okay with that there? You need any help? Listen, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, my name is Michelle, and I'm going to give you my personal cell phone. All right? You can text me. Do you know how to text? You do? Good. You text with the grandchildren? Good. You have any questions, you let me know. So here's the thing. I think sometimes we get afraid of the pot stirrers. And you know what happens, friends? It becomes the law of attraction. Because we believe there will be troubles, guess what happens? There will be troubles. But if we believe everything's going to go smoothly and wonderfully and seamlessly, and this year, for the first year, there will be no troubles, then there will be no troubles. But it's more than a belief, because I believe in prayer. I wholeheartedly believe in prayer, but prayer takes action, right? And the action would be to reach out to those pot stirrers and turn on the love. Now, if you're traveling with them, I don't know if you said that you're traveling with them. No, you're not, because they're traveling today. Then you can also turn on the love there too. Now, it may not be too late for you to do anything. It may be too late for you to do something, Michelle. I don't know if there's a way to reach out to these guests and just tell them how happy you are to have them on board, and you just making some random calls. Does this make any sense? Is this possible? Let me keep going on here. Nancy, she has another group, a chorus group, singing at Carnegie Hall. Are you serious? I've never even been to Carnegie Hall, and you have a group that's going to be singing there. That's awesome. They already know about the package via the flyer, but that was before Stuart. That's me. Should the next email be to the chorus to have the link to book, or just that it's coming soon? Or have a book by date with a warning that if they don't deposit by that date, the rates could increase. All right. I think that if you haven't had, Nancy, if you have not had prior communications with them, if you not have pre-sold them, if you have not pre-sold them, if they probably have a million questions, if they have no idea who the heck you are, then I wouldn't just tell them, you can book now, but if you don't book by here, you missed the deal. To me, that just sounds too threatening, and they probably have concerns and questions. I know that my stepson, Jacob, here, Kimberly's son, went on a chorus trip to Hawaii. Yeah, not too bad. Actually, they're going to New York City next year. Maybe you're the agent that's handling their group. It's Houston High School here in Memphis. Actually, Germantown. I would love it, Nancy, again, if there is a way for you to step back for a second and say, what are the questions that they have? Send out a survey. Call a meeting. But tell them when the shopping cart's going to open. Tell them when you're going to start taking money. And then when it's going to close. Because I also recommend that there's an open date and a close date. And tell them it will reopen shortly after. But you need time in that 3-day period. Okay, to A, see how many VIPs booked. B, see whoever else booked, to take a look at inventory to make sure everyone's settled in. You have all the necessary travel situations. And then a few days later, it's going to open back up. But you're going to strongly encourage that they get in early for best availability. But make sure it's pre-sold, that their answers, because then you're putting them, it's like you go to buy a new washing machine. All right, and because you need one. You can't buy it before they get there. You got to go look at it. You got to read about the features, right? You need the washing machine because your clothes haven't been washed in weeks and your clothes stink. The whole house smells. But you just don't call up somebody and say, here's my credit card and buy it. You got to make sure you know what you're getting. It's got the right spin cycle features and so forth. Does that help? Okay. Nancy wants to know who, Michelle, you're going to, who's going to Cuba? Lorene, you're thinking of doing the Cuba group. Lorene, would you be kind enough to share the company name that you are using for Cuba with Nancy? So I don't know if you're comfortable typing it in here. I don't think you guys can see each other questions and answers. I don't think you can. Lorene, I don't mean interest. I will have the itinerary and so forth. I have a vendor making up all that I need. My husband works at a cigar lounge, and lots of people are wanting to go. I got it. Okay. So, Lorene, we got more information about that private Cuba tour, and it's not about the interest that you're going to charge a $100 non-refundable, but it's more about that you're going to be further along. That in order for them to continue on, that you need to have that cash in-house, and that your husband works at the cigar lounge, and people are. I think it's great. And let me ask you a question, Lorene. Is it possible that this cigar lounge can host private events, parties, open events, people who can come and ask questions and show a slideshow, show a video? It'd be awesome. And I don't know if you're looking to pull just from your local, the local people who shop there, or if you're looking to go bigger, because you could do a local event, and you can bring your laptop if you've got it, and you can do a webinar, or you can do a Skype thing, or you can at least record it and upload it to YouTube. So if people couldn't be there, they can always see the presentation that you and your husband made at the cigar lounge, and maybe the vendor you're using will help too. So that makes a lot more sense. I appreciate it. Let's see. Okay, Nancy, this is for you. Lorene in Cuba is using Friendly Planet. Friendly Planet. Okay, so I hope that helps. Friendly Planet. Thank you very much, Lorene, for sharing that. And Lorene says, we will have events, and in fact, they will be sponsoring it. Awesome, awesome, awesome. This is very, very exciting. You know, and it sounds like, Lorene, you're going to be able to do, you can do your very first launch. Get excitement, get the information first. Don't hard sell right away. Ask them, what do you need to know? What would hold you back from going? What do you want to make sure you see when you're in Cuba? Okay, help me put this package together. You know, I'm in the final stages. Would you help me? And then you have a series of launches, but you don't open up for sale just yet. You control that process. Why do you have a launch? A, to pre-sell it. B, because you're actually going to ask for the business. We are so afraid sometimes to ask for the business. Buy now, because people are going to say, I'm not ready to buy. But now you're telling them, now's the time to buy. Be ready. Be ready to buy now. All right. Nancy says, thank you. My pleasure. You're very, very welcome. Nancy wants to know, can I repeat the 3 questions for the Cuba survey? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We may have to look at the recording for that. The 3 questions for this Cuba survey. What are some of you, do you have any concerns or issues about traveling to Cuba? What would those be? You know, what would hold you back from going to Cuba, right? What are the sites and the experiences that would be the most meaningful? You know, and again, maybe it'd be great if you could turn this into multiple choice, because there's not, especially Cuba, almost nobody's been there, so they would have no idea. Maybe they would, maybe they wouldn't. But you leave a little box. And the third question would be, is this, maybe you can ask something like this, you know, is this a trip that you have family or friends who might also be interested in going? We're considering crafting a group, and we think it's a great opportunity for people to travel with their own friends and family as well, something like that. But I would go that way. I really think with Cuba, there's definitely going to be, tell me if you guys agree with me, there's definitely going to be excitement. There is excitement, but there's huge unknown. And my friends, I can't think of a better reason why they need you, a travel professional, because there's probably tons of stuff already online. But remember, you have to be the truth detector, because half of what you read is sponsored and bogus. Half of what you read is true, or heavily opinionated. This is a wonderful time to position yourself, if you want to go that route, as a Cuba specialist. Because, you know, I'm sure the cruise ships are going to be going there soon too. All right? You know, I think they're going to turn to you to ask you what's safe. They don't know. Well, it's cultural. You need to find out what kind, Nancy and everybody else, you need to find out what kind of experience they want. Do you want an adventure experience? Like, list a few things. Do you want a culinary experience? Like, okay? Or do you want a historic, or is it an historic experience? Like, right? You know, do you want a cultural experience, which could mean, you know, meeting with people, meeting with locals? Do you want to visit, you know, the countryside, the farms, the city? Is it the cigars that are bringing you there? Find out what it is they want. We, travel professionals, we can't pretend that we know what they want. It's one thing to know what we want when we go to a strange new land, but we don't know what they want. Ask them. And then do a ton of research on Cuba to find out what's there, what's available. And working with this vendor, Friendly Planet, that Lorene suggested, is probably awesome. You've got to work with a really knowledgeable ground operator there. Really knowledgeable, who's going to take good care of you. Only recommend good, safe, reliable services, and it, you know, would be great. You may have to do a site inspection. I got news for you, friends. If more than likely you've never been there. I don't know. There's 12 people on the call right now. Has anybody been to Cuba? You know, I usually tell agents, don't tell me you need to see it before you sell it. But in this case, maybe you do. What do you think? I don't know. Back in the day, it used to be everyone, early in cruising. Oh, I need to see that ship before I sell it. Well, that's baloney. All the ships are the same, pretty much. Pretty much. Okay? You can read about it. You'll get to know them. You'll be able to sell it well enough. Destinations are a little different. It's one thing to say that you've been to Prague and you walk through the square and you visited here, you went inside here, and you tasted this, and show them pictures of when you were there. That changes the dimensions. I'm just saying. Lorene says there are only certain suppliers that handle Cuba and certain places they can go. Yep. Travel agents need a vendor. Absolutely. Yep. Got to work with a vendor. And listen, you're on the cutting edge here. Anybody who's thinking of Cuba right now is on the cutting edge. And I would suggest you be there if you want to be there on that cutting edge. Or else there's going to be a group of Cuba specialists. And I'm telling you, consumers, what a phenomenal way to position yourself as invaluable, as extremely important for a destination nobody knows anything about visiting for vacation, right? Let's go back to the boards here. Nancy, do you email surveys with other information or just the survey? I got to tell you, I would say, and what do you guys think? I would say if you're going to do a survey, you keep it simple. You keep it simple. Because if you start sending out stuff and it's loaded up with muck, if you muck it up, M-U-C-K, if you muck it up, you want to be simple, nice and easy. Every step of the launch process has got to be simple. Step one is the survey. I am putting the finishing touches on my special group to such and such, or I'm thinking of putting together a group to, a custom da-da-da. And I'd love to get your feedback. Things like that. That's it. And even in your second round, when you go back and you thank them because through your feedback, you helped me create something special. And I'd like to share with you the top 10 things I just learned about Cuba. That's round 2. You're still not selling anything, my friends, in round 2. And wait till you see this these new modules I'm putting together for you guys for boot camp launch. Round 2, you're just going to, because they helped you with the survey, that means they're interested. And if you say, I'm going to share with you the top 10 things about Cuba that you don't want to miss, they're going to come. And then you're going to have another one where you're going to bring them further and further down the process. Does that make sense? All right. So I would keep it simple. Let's see who else we have on. Let's see. We have Sam's on, Clavey's on, Jan's on. Hi, Jan, Judy, Lorene, Lori, Michael Graham. Hey, Michael. Michelle's on. We talked to you. Nancy's on. Patty. Hi, Patty. Tracy's on too. Hey, welcome, Tracy. I think this is your first time here. Welcome to boot camp, Tracy. It's great to have you here. Who else? Tell me what you got. Bring it. Bring it. By the way, while you're thinking of typing more stuff, I want to make sure you all received my email and my Facebook post that I've got 2 Ask Stuart hours coming up with very special guests. 2 people I admire very, very, very much. And it's the Ask Stuart hour. And when I invite a special guest, just so you know, I open it up to anybody and everybody, all travel professionals. Why do I do that? Number one, I like to give free stuff away to the whole industry. Why? Because it builds my list. Why? Perhaps they want to buy boot camp or my books or anything else that I'm doing, which is exactly what I preach to you guys to do. Build your list. How do you build your list? You give away free stuff. So these Ask Stuart Hour special editions are open for everybody. I want to build my list because this is how I make a living, by selling my products and my services. But for agents and other people to get to know what I do, you got to give them a little taste, a little sample. Some of you took the test drive before you bought, right? So I have Christine Karst, who is the executive vice president and co-owner of AMA Waterways. Who knows Christine? She's one of my favorite people in the world. I know that I say that this is a nonpartisan boot camp. I'm just telling you I've had 2 personal experiences cruising on AMA, including my honeymoon. And I love it. I adore it. I may have mentioned this before. I'm all for it. Huge opportunity for growth, especially groups. So Christine's coming on. Ask anything groups, especially having to do with river cruises, and Christine is brilliant. So any question, bring it. And I've also got Mike Going. Do any of you know Mike Going? Mike Going is the president of Fun Jet Vacations. You know, I will only have on the show people who I admire, who I respect, who are really brilliant, and who are truly committed to your success, as I am. And Mike Going, I've seen him on stage, I've met him, he's funny, he's brilliant, he's driven, he's committed, and he gets it. And so and we're going to talk about everything about resort vacations. I'm sure we'll talk about destination weddings and stuff too. So make sure you sign up for those too. They're coming up in July. Tracy can't find the Facebook group. All right, Tracy will figure that out, because I thought I had sent you an invitation to be in the Facebook group. So if you're not in, I'm going to go make sure I send you a private email invitation to get you in, Tracy. Thanks for sharing that. We'll get you in there. Nancy, Christine of Alma is amazing. Met her and Rudy, her husband, on a Hertgruten fam. She offered me a cabin for a fundraiser event that raised $3,100 for the organization. Highest item on the silent auction. See what I'm saying? Everyone's experience with Christine is she's awesome. And this is wonderful to hear that she's kind to so many people, you know, because she does what she needs to do to get your business. And it's sincere, it's authentic, it's legit. It's really great. All right, who has it? Anybody else have anything else? Now here's the deal. You know how this works. There's 9 minutes left. If you've got nothing else for me, we're gone. We're done. I'm going to go ahead and download it, pray that it all recorded, and upload it as a podcast if you want to come back, if you missed some of it, and for those folks who couldn't be here today. Please make sure that you, okay, Tracy, I will make sure I get you that. Thank you for sending email address. I'll get you that Facebook invitation. Make sure you sign up for those other 2 special editions, Steward Hours. They're in boot camp. And let's see, you know what? I usually do this. I didn't pick a date for our next boot camp. Shame on me. And that's going to be in 2 weeks from now. So, I don't know. You tell me when you guys want to do the next Ask Steward Hour. Would you prefer that I have a set date, set time every other week, same time, same date, or mix it up? I've been mixing it up because I know some of you would never be able to come at some of those times. And by mixing it up, it opens it up. I keep it sort of floating. You can count on it happening every other week. Sometimes with a special guest, most of the time not, just with me. But it's going to be the week of the 29th, right? It's going to be the week of, no, it's not going to be the week of the 29th. Yes, it is going to be no, it's not. Oh, man. It's not the week of the 29th. I'll tell you when it is. Hold on here, Cub Scouts. Well, we've got July 10th. That's Christine Karst, right? And so is that the next one? I think it is. Yeah. So guess what? The next Ask Steward Hour is with Christine from AMA at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on the 10th. So that's already there. That's done. And then I just have to schedule the next one for the week of the 20th, but there's actually Mike Going. So there we go. Those are your next 2 Ask Steward Hours. Pretty cool stuff. Let's see if we've got anybody up. Nancy says mix it up. Lori mix it up. And Lorene says mix it up. So guess what? I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to keep mixing it up. This way, I just keep giving everyone different opportunities to come, and I try to, get them on the books early enough so you can block out your date. But listen, if you got a business opportunity, you got to make a sale, you got to go shake some hands, do what you got to do. Come back and watch the podcast or listen to it on your own time when you can. So we've got really 2 great ones coming up. And remember, that's open for everybody. So if you have any friends or colleagues, I ask for referrals. Send them my way. Send them here. I want to build my list. Maybe one day they need boot camp. Maybe not, but we'll still be friends. Maybe they want to buy one of my books. I don't know. Just like you want to build your list. All right, so here we go. Nancy, here we go. I think this could be the last question. What do you say when someone tells you that you need to narrow your brand? Narrow your brand. When you say narrow your brand, Nancy, does that mean that that you need to sell fewer brands in that category? So are you referring to supplier brands, or you personally, that your personal brand, the Nancy Durance brand, you're selling too many things. You're doing river cruises, you're doing destination weddings, you're doing trips to Cuba, you're doing resorts, you're doing weekend getaways. Tell me, is it personal branding? Excuse me, Nancy says that it's my brand. Okay, it's about your personal brand. I want to answer this. It's a great question. Destinations are endless. True. I want to respond to that. And Jan, I want to respond to what you just wrote too. Thank you. Thanks, Stuart. Appreciate your wisdom and getting my group business ready to launch. Need all the help I can get. Jan, it's my pleasure. You have no idea, sincerely. I read that and I get verklempt. You know what that word means, verklempt? I get excited, sincerely. Sincerely, because it makes me feel great that I can resonate and that I can help. I want you to be successful. I really do. Because if you're successful, I'm successful. It's all good. Thanks for sharing that, Jen. It's very sweet. So, yeah, I believe your personal brand, which you may have heard me refer to as Who Am I Marketing? Who am I marketing? Your personal brand has to be crystal clear. All right, here's the big takeaway as we roll down here. The big takeaway is that you can't just call yourself a travel agent. You can't just say you book fabulous, memorable vacations. You can't just do that. Why? Because there's 50 other thousand people who say the same thing. You know, your website can't just have a booking engine on it, because then you're just like the other online travel agents who are convincing people to book online. Why would they book on your line? They're going to book on one of the other mega online travel agencies. The brand is you. The brand is not AMA. The brand is not Funjet. The brand is not Travel Impressions. The brand is you. The brand is Nancy, Michelle, Michael, Lori, Lorene, Judy, Jan, Clavia, Barbara, or Sam. Sorry, I always get that. Why? I got a problem with that. It's crazy. Tell you what, Sam, you can call me Steve. How's that? Call me Steve. People who get my name wrong always call me Steve, and I still answer to Steve. I don't know why. The more defined your brand is, the easier it is for me to get to know you. The easier for me as your customer to brag about you to my friends and family. Because if you sell everything, if you don't have specialists, specializations, if there's something in particular you're not great at, then I won't know what to tell my friends. Well, how do we describe you? Call my agent? No, I need a reason. Oh, wonderful. Congratulations, your niece and nephew, niece and nephew getting married. Could you imagine that? Maybe at the same time, but not to each other. Oh, that was a faux pas. We'll edit that out. Your nephew's getting married. Wonderful. Listen, my agent, Nancy, she puts on amazing destination weddings. You got to call her. Can I have her call you? You're known for something. It's easy to communicate on your business card. My goodness, if I see another business card that is loaded with stuff on the front and the back, and it's tiny type, I can't even read it until I have my one-power glasses on. I'm confused. You're confusing me. And I don't even think you need a travel agency name. How about that? Because the name of your company is your name. It's Michelle Diamond. It's Michael Graham. Now, I know, Michael, you're with a franchise, which is awesome, and that gives credibility and power and so forth, but still, they're not buying from your franchise. They're not buying from Cruise Planners. They're buying from Michael Graham. So it's your brand. And it's easier for you to talk about. It's easier for you to have a mantra. It's easier for people to remember and brag about you. So, yeah, that's what I believe. As they say, take what you like and leave the rest at the door. Let's see. Tracy, yes, I need a WordPress website and working on creating that. Well, let me know if you need if anybody needs website design help, I'm not the guy. Yes, I built my sites pretty much on my own, but I have a designer. Her name is Roslani. I should put her in the resource center for you guys. If you need her to design stuff, whether she's a WordPress expert or if you need logos or this or that, she's amazing and she's going to love on you. Take great care of you. She's in Illinois. Tracy said these cookie cutter slides do nothing for SEO. I agree. The cookie cutter sites. I don't want to downplay what some of that you're getting by being members of certain organizations, but it really has to be personalized. It has to be a who. Even if it's one page, tell me your story. Tell me your story. Show me pictures. All right, here we go. You'd love to meet her. Rosalani. Yep. All right, we'll do it. Hey, listen, everybody. It is time. I can't even begin to tell you how grateful I am that you've come today, that you've shared, you've asked, and you've stayed with me for this hour. Thank you very much. Let's keep in touch. We'll see you again in 2 weeks. If I don't hear from you before then, I wish you happy sales and much happiness. Take care. Bye, everybody.